I have, I have like what I would interpret as a smug little look on my face, and I can, I think, I think I can be impeccable with my words. It's one of the four agreements, which I've been thinking about a lot lately. The four agreements, and I may not get them all right, even though I've been working with them for as long as they've been out, which is, I'm sure, 30, 40 years. I actually got to see Don Miguel Ruiz live at the Unity Church in Michigan somewhere, and and I fell in love with him. I mean, I loved his book. I loved the Toltec agreements that he asked people to make, which were, and I'm paraphrasing and may not be accurate, but like one of them is do your best. Just that's it. That's one of them. And another one is, and this one's be impeccable with your words. Now, I changed it to just speak your truth, but and no, it's like my friend pointed out, that's not what it says. So you can't paraphrase it if it says be impeccable with your words. That's pretty clear if you know what impeccable means. And I can't say I do, but I have I have a brief understanding of impeccable, which means in some words, don't go outside of truth when you're speaking your words. And then there's another one about don't take it personally. Now, I'm just going to admit being impeccable with my words, I'm going to admit that that is the hardest, has been the hardest of the four agreements, because I'm a recovering trauma person. So I had a horrible childhood, and I love the bumper sticker. It's not too late to have a great childhood, and I'm working on that. But my memories from childhood was horrid. Every bit of it. And I can go into detail, but I'm not going to. But anyway, don't take it personally. I took everything personally because my basic bottom line belief about myself is there's something inherently wrong with me, and I'm going to have to fake it really well so people don't notice. So at some point as a teenage boy, I might be able to have a girlfriend for a short period of time, which was my main goal in life at that time, was to actually get to be in relationship with another person, where there may be kissing involved. And so that was my goal in life. I was real clear about that. And I actually was successful in getting in short term relationships. But after a while, when you are troubled, the trouble begins to come to the surface. And if you're in a relationship, it'll come to the. If you don't know this by now, I'm just going to tell you this. If you're troubled, it will arise in relationship. And so if you just avoid being in a relationship, then it'll just arrive in your own consciousness. And then you'll have nobody to work it out with. But that may be working for you, so just stay with it. Four agreements, that was three. And the other one is don't assume. Don't assume you know what's going on, because more than likely you don't. Just more than likely. Okay. So my plans for this video, because I'm already uploading one video, which was just a random rant, but really good one, I thought. And now I'm doing this video, and this video I'm going to actually, I wrote something out, which was a random write. That doesn't make it right. That just means I wrote it, and I didn't really write it. I typed it, so it's a random type. A random type. So I did a random type, and I'm going to actually read it to you, because things are moving, and I may not publish it, but I might publish it. So here we go. So as I sat down at the TV table, and Some of you may not know about TV trays. And I'm guessing they were invented in the 50s along with TV. And ever since, many of us have chosen to be programmed by the television. Before television, I'm guessing that people sat down, possibly as a family, some with a father and mother, and possibly siblings. And they ate their meals at a table with chairs and possibly talked about their lives. At least these were the families that televised programming showed on TV in the 50s to 60s. Father knows best. Dr. Welby, MD, being very specific about what a real doctor is. Me, doctor, MD. It's a real doctor. All the rest of them are fake doctors. Like psychologists, there's a total fake doctor. Like, oh, I'm a psychologist. What's that? I don't know, but I get paid for it. Okay, good. Not really distant psychologist. I've been to many psychologists. Obviously, it doesn't work. No, it does work. I'm still here. I'm still making videos about healing, you know? So everything works in some way. Okay, Dr. Welby, MD, Hogan's Heroes, Gilligan's Island, the Art Linkletter Show. So now you kind of have a better understanding of my childhood, because those are the shows I remember. This morning, a little earlier, as I came slowly out of the other dream world, I once again noticed that I was experiencing a feeling of panic. And I said to myself, oh, well, it appears that the world is on the verge of escalating another war so that people can take other people's stuff, like they have done throughout the history of the planet. Oh, hum. Another 5,000 troops were killed this morning. Ain't that a shame? I'm sure they had a family. Maybe a mother, a father, even grandparents. As these young men and women in the military serving their country, or at least the military-industrial complex, had their flame extinguished for some reason. Let's forget about it. Move on. Nothing to see here. The king has no clothes. This is private. This is not for you. Father knows best. Gilligan's Island. Hogan's Heroes. Hogan's Heroes. Think about Hogan's Heroes. I started off thinking I would write about sanity, yet don't we need role models? Someone to look up to enable us to even have a concept of what sane is? You probably have watched television. You know what sanity is. Father knows best. Ask your doctor if more drugs will help the condition my condition is in. Phew. Sanity. Who even wants to consider that? It can make a person crazy just thinking about sanity during crazy times. Wait, cannabis is legal now. Let's just have us a toke on the man or the non-binary. Wait, what were we talking about? Smoke, oh yeah, smoke on the waters. Finding my way out of the haze of the 1950s, indoor tobacco smoke. I arrive here in the 2026s, just finishing up the last 2 months in the Mayan calendar. Come on, you big strong man. Uncle Sam needs your help again. He's got himself in a terrible jam way down yonder in, well, in this song it was Vietnam, but let's say way down yonder in Iran. So put down your books and pick up a gun. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. Well, it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me. I don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam or Iran. Wait, we haven't finished the ass kicking that Russia needed. Wait, don't they have a lot of cheap oil products? Why don't we just buy them? They're a great deal right now. Why spend all this money fighting them and attempting to steal their resources? No, silly person, that's Ukraine you're speaking about. That's already old news. We're all tired of this fussing and fighting, my friends. Let's just go to bed. And the moral, the morale, which is a fun guy, of the story is we might be coming to a place where we have no idea if anything that we've believed could fit into a category called sanity. If we begin to learn to trust ourselves, which we've been told never do that, don't trust your own perceptions. Your parents' programmed perceptions are better for you. Father knows best. But if you arrived at a place through being in sanity and you actually consciously chose to have your own children and you identify as a man, then in that case, you would be a father. Therefore, you know best. because television told you so. Father knows best. And even though reality seemed to be that women knew a lot more than men did, and they actually spoke about it, and they spoke to each other about it, and they really worked with community. I don't know how they got us to buy this perception that father knows best. Father knows best. He went to war and he survived. He wasn't one of those 5,000 that just disappeared in a day. Troops. It's good to call them troops than call them human beings, because there's a different feeling in me, may not be in you, but there's a different feeling in me where I hear that 5,000 troops just lost their lives. I'm like, well, it was just troops. It wasn't people somehow convinced by finances, more than likely. They had no idea what they're going to do with their life. And they wanted to step out of living with their parents, which may have been functional or dysfunctional. And so they wanted to get a similar situation where we'll give you a place to live and we'll give you food to eat. And then we're going to teach you how to be a soldier or, a pilot or an engineer. So it's on the job training. And then once you get in, there's a possibility that you can rise up in the ranks. And after maybe 20 years, maybe 10 years or 20 years, you can actually have a pension that you actually be given this money for having served longer period of time. And then you can go into some other profession, provided you're still alive. And if you're not still alive, then you've had an experience. You've had an experience of coming into the world, being in the military, training to be in war, and sometimes I think in the consciousness of the people in the military that they're just waiting for the opportunity to do what they've trained to do. And in order to do what they've trained to do, there's got to be a war. And it seems like wars have to do with economy. And I think there's a lot of people that make money through creating the articles of war, the things that people use in wars, and they have to be transported. So people who are in the oil business and they have to be transporting these things all over the place, troops, not humans. Those aren't humans in those planes. They're troops. And with all these video games about wars, and I didn't really play any of those video games. I played one, maybe a couple of those little games for very short periods of time with my stepson. He was really into them. But basically, he realized that I did really stupid things. So I was in playing the video game with him. The first thing he would do was shoot me, get me out of the way because I was interfering with the game. And I think many people have had that feeling about me, that just shoot him. He's interfering with the game that we're all playing. And we're playing this game where we've been given the rules, and some of us follow them, some of us don't. And some, if you're wealthy enough, you don't have to follow the rules, and nothing will happen to you unless they need to make, a point that, well, if you mess up that bad, then, and you're rich, we still may be able to take you down. And if not, if you're messing with the system too much, even if you're a president or running to be a president, those who are attempting to control reality in this real tight-fisted way can even take out presidents. And I'm sure this country, I wasn't there, so I'm not that sure, but I'm certain it's come out, freedom of information, that we've been messing with almost every country in the world, attempting to dominate it, because we learned, some learned how good it felt to be the bully as opposed to the one bullied. And all I learned was that it was really good for me to have strong friends. I mean, really strong friends, because I was small. But if I had really strong friends that really liked me a lot, when people would start to bully, these strong friends would convince them not to bully me. But I still guess I was using bullies. And so maybe that's what we're so trained to do when we can't really take care of something ourselves. We can hire a hitman. Might even be a high school student that you're in shop class with, that you've become really good friends because you personally are an intelligent person that knows that being in relationship with strong people who actually have learned to care about you and watch out for you makes the world safer for you. Not necessarily for the bullies. The world wasn't safe for the bullies because when RT, we'll just call him RT, when RT said to me, Steve, seems like something's really bothering you. And this was in shop class. And I said, yeah, GC has been kind of torturing me. Like he won't let me come in to the high school through the entrance, and I have to go all the way around the school, and I end up being late for class. And you don't want to explain you're late for class because somebody wouldn't let you in the school. And he goes, how long has this been going on? I said, a couple of weeks. And he goes, all right, you can stop worrying about it. So I did. And I noticed that person never showed up at that entrance to the school again. And RT had taken GC and let him know that he was no longer to mess with SM. And, it was interesting because he couldn't even look at me. If I walked by him, he would turn his head away. So obviously, RT had done something to convince him that it wasn't a good idea to bully me. And I appreciated that. And I learned a lesson from it, that my friends weren't bullies. My friends they walked their talk. And they didn't like bullies. And I don't like bullies. And when the world seems to somehow produce bullies as leaders, it's time for a change. And you have to just be willing. You're possibly, just all the news reports are saying you're going to lose everything anyway, and we're already paying 2-3 times as much as we are paying for basic necessities. But are you willing to be another person that accepts war as a means of regulating your financial stability? Yes, that's the question. Is that sane? that you're willing for others to die so that you can afford bananas. And that's the energy that I'm working with today. And now, if you've watched this, which you'd have to be pretty insanity to allow yourself to feel what I'm feeling. And if you do, dog bless you. And may it be so.